Hi everyone and welcome back to the TheOvertakeGT. This video is the Mercedes-AMG GT and the R version from 2017. This is a 700PP build, perfect for Le Mans and any other 700PP race, as long as those weekly challenges that give us those little perky rewards that we need during the week. So get yourselves your Mercedes-AMG GT R and follow me to the tuning shop where we'll get this build fully underway and making your life a lot easier at earning those credits. So now at the tuning shop is the little bits you're going to need to make this car an absolute beast, especially at Le Mans and those other 700PP races where this car just outperforms everyone on track. First of all, from sports, you're going to want to get weight reduction stage 1. Club sports, you want weight reduction stage 2. A power restrictor and a ballast. Semi-racing, you want to get your fully customizable computer, your high RPM turbocharger, fully customizable LSD, weight reduction stage 3 and increase your body rigidity. Racing, you want to get engine balance tuning, polished ports, an anti-lag system, a racing intercooler, racing air filter and racing silencer. Then you want to drop down and get a racing exhaust manifold, your racing brake pads, brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, an active LSD controller, fully customizable racing transmission, weight reduction stage 4 and racing hard tyres. Extreme, you're going to want to get carbon ceramic brake kit. You can go for the 4-wheel steering controller, I found that very useful, and intermediate tyres, because if you do this at Le Mans, we all know what the weather's like there, and some other tracks do have that weather element included. Heading over to Ultimate, you want to get carbon propeller shaft and titanium connecting rods and pistons. Now you will see weight reduction stage 5's there. The reason I haven't gone for that is because the weight reduction doesn't justify the cost. Also, it will affect the rest of the car and the balance of the tune, so I've decided not to get that. So follow me to GT Auto and we'll get the rest of this build underway. So now we're at GT Auto, you want to go to car customization. This way you can customize your wheels, and as you can see the wheels I've picked on this one are the ones that were recently added, and they're the Pokal DR5s. I think they look brilliant. So get those added on. You just want front 19 inch, rear 20 inch, just a standard size. Rim width wide, your offset wide, and get those installed on there. Once you have those installed, go to custom parts and you want front type A and the wing to be a custom wing set. So choose whichever you like, it doesn't affect anything within the setting sheet from the custom wing set option. If you go for wingless, you are going to have an absolute mare of a time trying to control it at high speed because you don't have that rear downforce to help. On the racing items, you can obviously choose your bonnet pins like I did, tow hook, I went for type B. You can also do your light bulbs, I went for the super cool LEDs, they're the ones that usually blind you while you're driving down the road in real life. Number plate and your caliper colour, get that changed as well. And if like me, you love these liveries, if you go to load style, you can do content search and content search again. And as you can see, there's 36 pages for this vehicle that look amazing. There's also that CLK tribute, that looks fantastic. Although that is for a wide car, which this car is not. So bear that in mind when you're looking. If it says wide car, it's specifically for a wide car. Now the person that made this one, as you can see, is called DaRock575. This car looks absolutely amazing. So when you do choose these liveries, I would recommend giving them a like so that person knows that the work has been worth the effort. And you can see that car looks absolutely amazing there. So the only difference I made was I changed the wheels. I thought those Pokal wheels looked far nicer in my opinion. So now that's done, let's go back to the garage and get the settings underway. So now we're back at the garage, just go to car settings, and this is what we need to do for a 700PP build that will work across all the tracks. So first of all, get some racing hard tyres on there, and then you want to drop down to your body height adjustment. You want 135 at the front and 155 at the rear. Your anti-roll bar, 5 at the front, 10 at the rear. Your dampen ratio compression, 30 at the front and 40 at the rear. Your dampen ratio expansion, 40 at the front, 50 at the rear. Now your natural frequency, 2.55 front and rear. And your negative camber angle, 1 front and rear. Now your toe angle, you want toe out, 0.05. And toe in at the rear, 0.25. Very important you get that right. Now, active LSD controllers installed there. You can see initial torque, that's set to 50, you can't change that. Now your acceleration sensitivity, you want 20, and your braking sensitivity, you want 50. This car's phenomenal on the straights, so making sure you have that stop and power is critical. Now, downforce, you want 100 at the front and 350 at the rear. Your ECU, you want your output adjustment to be 84%. Your performance adjustment, you want a 200 kilogram ballast. You want that to be negative 50 on the ballast positioning, and your power restrictor to be 83%. Now your transmission, set that to 370 kmh, and then manual adjustments, and these are the changes you're going to want to make. So, first gear, you want 3.318. Second gear, 2.226. Third gear, 1.626. Fourth gear, 1.235. Fifth gear, 0.976. Sixth gear, 0.803. And seventh gear, 0.687. And that is a final drive of 3.670. And as you can see from that line there, this car revs at just shy of 8,000 RPM. Fantastic. So you want your turbocharger to be high RPM, anti-lag system on, and that anti-lag system set to strong. Make sure you've got your racing intercooler on, all the other items that you can see there, make sure they're all installed. And you want your rear steering angle to be level 100 and your four-wheel steering controller to be on, because that will also assist when you've got those tight corners. So as you can see, this car is phenomenal for everyone to use. You know, pushing over 600 brake horsepower, just shy of 1500 kilos, and it has a quarter mile time of 11 seconds. So this car's phenomenal, works for all occasions. Now, I did go to Le Mans with this. It's the usual money grind you would expect from a 700PP build. So stick with me, I'll give you a bit of a track guide for that one, help you through that. And failing that, there's a little video on the top right of the screen now. Click on that if you want to see something else. But please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. There's plenty of builds coming up, and I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. What builds do you want to see? What car do you have in your garage and you don't know what to do with it? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below, and I'll find a cracking build for you to use. But for now, here's a track guide to Le Mans to help you with this Mercedes-AMG GT R. So here we are at Le Mans. And as you can see, that Mercedes looks amazing. So the first thing you want to do, bottom right, get your fuel map and get that to 6. Make sure it's on lean. That's going to guarantee you 2 laps of hard racing around this circuit. Now, one thing that I do want to advise while you're racing on this circuit, doesn't matter what car you're in, but this first lap is critical. Make sure you do not start bashing into all these other cars, because it's only going to cost you time. It's also a good thing to remember when you're doing, whether it's daily races, or whether you're doing your weekly challenges or other races, it's always good to make sure you keep your etiquette intact. So as you can see, coming around this corner, there's a lot of braking, a lot of dodging these cars. Even the Subarus, it comes back on track, you had to slam on and try and go around it. But what you will notice is this car just powers through the gears. 4th gear, racing up, changing to 5th, and it just keeps on going. So especially down the Mulsanne straight, this car's brilliant. You'll overtake plenty of cars nice and easy on that first lap, and you will power through to come first regardless of what happens during the race. As long as you keep the right tyres on at the right time, you'll be perfectly fine. So moving on to the end of this lap, as you can see, you've got over a 3-second lead against McEwen now. That's what I had here. So coming down to the start finish line, the last couple of little chicanes, and the car takes these nice and easy in seconds, no problem at all. The tyre wear, you can see it's very minimal, So if you did pit and you just wanted to stay on the same tyres, again, that is fine. It's not going to harm your race in any way. The only thing you do need to be aware of is that weather radar, so do keep that on at some point. And you can see there now, coming up to the first corner, and you've got almost a 6-second lead against McEwen. So this car is just powering through these corners and leading the way. So this is lap 2. Not much happened here. It was a nice and easy lap. And coming to the end of that one as we come out the pits to start lap 3. So coming in to start lap 3 at the end of pitting there, and just coming out the pits, you can see bottom right hand side that weather radar showing some light blue weather coming over. So that rain's only going to be very light, very minimal. It's not going to cause any hazards to you. So the fresh racing hard tyres I put on are going to work perfectly fine, and it won't affect your race in any way. So just make sure that you just keep going, keep that weather radar in check, and you can see that 3-second lead over Mendoza. So moving to the end of lap 3. So with just over 17.5 minutes remaining, you can see that weather radar on the bottom right and the kind of weather that's just affected this lap. So it's not been too bad. They've still increased that gap between Mendoza now to over 20 seconds, and this car is still just powering through as you would expect. So these builds, they're all made to suit my personal driving style. I do try and make sure that they will suit many. I do try and use them on the controller. I do try and also make sure that people who prefer an automatic drivetrain can use these as well, although manual is what these are set up for. So apologies if you've got an automatic and they don't work exactly the way that they should, but it's because they're set for a manual transmission and I do use a wheel and pedal setup. But as I say, as this car shown even on an out lap, it can do a good lap time. And Mendoza, although he does have the fastest lap, he certainly doesn't have the fastest car. So moving on to the end of lap 4 now. And what you can see is this car is now a minute ahead of Haywood. It's been a couple of pits there from Mendoza, but a minute ahead, smashing those lap times. Look at that, 21.5 seconds better than Mendoza's fastest lap. But unfortunately, it is time to come in and pit for fuel. So let's get in, let's get some fresh rubber on, and then let's move it on to lap 5. So even after pitting, I've still got a 36-second lead over McEwen, and coming into the end of the Mulsanne straight now, the last little stretch there. So this car is absolutely pummeling. This car is absolutely smashing this track. It's doing really well. It's so easy to drive. I cannot explain that enough to anyone. Anyone who's used any future builds that I've put on recently, you know, especially the Maserati, this car is just as good as the Maserati in the wet. It's like it's on rails. It's a brilliant car. So as you can see, it takes corners nice and easy, no problem at all. And this is just another build I'm very, very proud of. So let's move it on to lap 6. So coming through those Porsche curves, and as you can see, the car is still handling pretty well. Those racing... Start again. As you can see, coming through the Porsche curves there, this car's still handling really well. Taking these in 4th gear, just took a different line, and then dropping it down into 3rd for the last couple. So 22.3 seconds faster than Mendoza. It just shows how quick this car is. It is very nimble. It's easy to drive. I cannot stress that enough. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, you know, my little lad would be able to drive it as well. I'm pretty sure that any novice that is new to Gran Turismo will love this car. And if you do have this and you've won it, it's definitely one that you want to use at Le Mans. So going in now to get some fresh racing hard tyres for that final lap to come round for the win. And after a final lap of lap 7, you can see over 1.5 minutes ahead of McEwen, coming to those final little chicanes now. Still got half a lap of fuel left, and that's it. It's all over. We have won at Le Mans. No surprises there with this build, because I am so proud of it, the effort that I've put into it, and the fact that it's definitely a winner. I want you to leave your comments below of what you think of this one after trying it. Absolutely smashed the competition, as you can see. And that is another 825,000 credits in the bank after a great first place win. So don't forget, these builds are great for your weekly challenges as well as the usual money races. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of this one. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these amazing builds in the future. And if you have a car you want to see built specifically for a race, please let me know in the comments below.